if I'm not fueled, I'm not gonna have the energy to keep doing this. It's that time again for another hairstyle, and this time we're doing Bohemian knotless braids. Like, look at this. Beautiful. It took me way longer than I anticipated, but I am super happy with the results, and I'm going to show you how to do it from the beginning, from the parting all the way to the technique, and you'll just see how I progress over time. So if this sounds like something you're interested in watching, then be sure to keep watching. Hey girl, hey, it's time for another hair braiding tutorial, and I'm doing the Emphasis knotless Bohemian braids on myself for the first time. Can you believe it? For the first time. Let me show you some of the things that I got. I always use this braiding hair. I actually have an open pack that I need to go get, but this is how many inches? And I like to get the pre-stretched kind because it just makes the braiding easier. The separating, it's pre-stretched, it's hot water setted, and it's tangle free, which I need because that'll just help make everything go faster. Then for the first time, again another first time, I got this human hair loose deep for the leave out pieces, and this is like a bulk piece, and these are also 18 inches, which is a little longer than I think I need because it's going to be going all the way down my hair, and at that point it's going to be touching my butt. But you see how it's cut off here loose, so this side will be the part that will go inside the braid, and then this part will just be hanging out. Beauty supply stores in Atlanta, Chef Kiss, they always have what I need, and I can find everything I need without a problem. Of course, I had a re-up on my Shine and Jam. I'm also going to be using some of my tropical twist cream for braids, and two, I'm going to be using nail glue to put on the end of the braid so it doesn't come down for the human hair pieces. This is some behind the scenes. I'm also getting some footage on my phone for a reel that I'm gonna do, and I thought I was gonna have to cut this, but it's easy to just pull them out from the bottom, and then you have your individual pieces cutting the hair from. I think I'm going to use about 3 to 4 pieces per braid, and that's going to be throughout the braid, and then at the bottom I want it to be like curly at the bottom. This is my first time using this hair, surprisingly. So bangs, if you didn't know, so that's why the front is shorter. But let me show you what my sections look like. I'm going to be doing like small, medium knotless. So here we have the regular braiding hair, and then here we have the curly pieces, and then I have all my extra hair up here to take out as I go along. So now I'm going to part my hair across the ear. So there's a bunch of different ways to look at your parts once you start parting them. I'm just going to use my camera on my iPad and look in the mirror behind me and see where I need to clean up the parts. The Shine and Jam and put it in the part, and then I'm going to twist that section and on to the next. So you can see each of the sections. Then it'll be easy for me to part the front. So for the front, don't come from my ends. I know they need some love. I'm about to put on the show and get to it. It's 1:53, so it took me about an hour to part, but that's going to save me time down the line. So we have our first section here, and they're going to be small, medium. I need to get the groove of it before I show you live, so I'll be back. So far so good. I'm loving the way it's coming out. The hair is super soft. This is my first time using nail glue on the end, so I'm interested to see how well this will hold. The other thing is I'm not sure if I want it longer than what I currently have it as. It's coming along great, and it's already looking super full. I love it. The nail glue is holding on. Everything is just going great. I'm still not going to show you the process until I get to the front because it's just kind of hard to walk you through when I'm in the back. Guys, made it through the back of my hair, rooting, but now it's time for another break. If I'm not fueled, I'm not gonna have the energy to keep doing this. Nice and full, long, looking good. I'm excited to wear different styles. It's really full, and I can use like regular products that I use on my curly hair on my hair. So let me show you the time. 8:03, which means I need to eat and I need to keep doing my hair. The front is gonna go a lot faster because I can see and they're pretty easy to part. So I try to do the alternating parts. Like there's 2 here and I try to do 3 here, but see if 3 fits. Yeah, we can do 3 here. So I'll just section these off. Now that we're in the front, I can kind of talk through. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a voiceover or actually talk in the video. But the voice, if me speaking during the video doesn't turn out how I want it, then I will be doing a voiceover. So you want to make sure, I've been adding 2 to 3 pieces to each braid, and this is based off of the size that you want the braid. And for me, I just put a little bit of the Shining Jam at the top, gather it, bring it down, bring the product down, spray a little bit of this spray. You don't want it like drenched or anything, but I like to have mine a little hydrated. And then start braiding. I braid inwards instead of outwards for my knotless, and I do 3 rotations before adding a piece of hair. So how you add the hair, I just put it so I have my pointer finger right here and this holding the outside of the hair. So I like to place the hair right where my pointer finger is and use it for those 2 pieces that are holding, that my pointer fingers are holding. And then I like to do 2 more rotations and then add another piece of hair right in the same spot right here where the fingers are holding, and do another rotation. And then I do maybe 2 to 3 rotations, and then I grab a curly piece. The thing with the curly piece is that you see you have the straight piece and you have the curly piece. So you want to braid it in, but you want to make sure that you're leaving out the piece that's curly and not the piece that's straight. So I do 2 to 3 rotations until the hair ends up on the outer corner. So right now it's on the outer corner, so I have 3 strands and this is the outer corner. And then I take the curly piece out and I eat it. And then I do 2 to 3 more rotations, and at this point that's when I would add in the other braiding hair piece if I needed it, but since these are in the front, they're going to be the length that I want them. So I do maybe like 5 to 6 rotations in between the curly pieces. And here I'm just adding a little product to the ends of my hair braiding. So now that we have, you can add 3 to 4 pieces, but I find that 3 pieces is good. It gives me enough volume. And then you want to add another curly piece at the bottom that you're not going to take out. You're just going to braid all the way through. So you still want it a little uneven, where this piece is short, this piece is longer. And then you add it at the bottom, and you just continue to braid this all the way to the bottom. And I typically stop when there's a piece of the hair, the braiding hair, that is short and I can't braid anymore. Instead of splitting the sections, I just use that as an indicator to stop, and then that's where I'm going to add the nail glue. So I've just been adding maybe like a drop of the nail glue. Can you see that? A drop of the nail glue on the hair, and then I have a clip that I'm just using to go on each braid. Once I finish one and put it on the next, and I'm putting it right below the glue so that the glue won't get on the clip and it'll just stay in place. And so I'll let this sit on this particular braid until I'm done with the next braid, and then by that time it's usually dry. And if you see that you have any pieces sticking out like that, you can take some scissors, some shears, and cut it off if it's not your hair. That for me is usually the end of the curly piece that's straight. So here we have it. We go back and rewatch that if you need another recap on what to do.
Very rarely does it take me to the next day to finish my hair, but here we are. Yesterday just got crazy busy and I couldn't finish, and I already was up till like 1 o'clock doing it. So we have one whole side to finish in the front, and I think this will only take me like 2 hours.
Finally, on the last 2, I'm gonna be putting some oil on my scalp before I tie the scarf on to like let it sit for any of the dry pieces. Then to let it sit, I'm just going to tie a scarf on. The good thing about doing my own hair is that if any of it gets messy in the next month, I can just redo it myself. We finished. I think it took me 6 to 8 hours in between that time frame, between stopping, between going to sleep, between everything else. It took me a long time, and this was probably the longest a style has taken me on my own hair. But chef kiss, it's human hair, so I can style it and put product on it that I would put on my natural hair, which I'm excited about. The curl pattern, I was skeptical, but I think it's a good curl pattern. So I had 4 bundles of the human hair. This is all I have left, And then I used 4 bundles of the braiding hair. The braiding hair comes like this, and I used 4 of these. I had another pack, which is why there's still 2 on this. Plan to see me. Follow me on Instagram to see all my photos, how I style my hair, and we're gonna be wearing this for the next month, probably. All right, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.